Um, so today it looks like we're going to have a vote on a very important Yemen resolution in early afternoon. That would be the first resolution on Yemen since 3.5 years. Ever since, we pushed for a PRC, presidential statement early this year about the need for access of the port of Hodeidah. And ever since, we have been pushing for a resolution. So we're glad that now at the end of the year that we managed to have a text on the table. And we sincerely hope that this text will help bring peace in Yemen. As you know, we also took the initiative of having a resolution on the relationship between conflict and hunger. And we're glad that this resolution also enabled OCHA to draw attention to the humanitarian situation in Yemen that actually also got this ball rolling. In the negotiations, we've been pushing very hard to have the 5 asks of OCHA well represented in the text. And so we are very glad that we managed to do that the text in front of us has all the 5 asks of OCHA in the text. We're also glad that the text calls for compliance with international law and international humanitarian law, and also calls for inclusion of women and youth in the political process. So all in all, it's very important. I can't stress the urgency enough. It's very important that today we have this text on the table. We hope it will be adopted, hopefully unanimously, of course, and we really hope that this will bring a little peace, a little step closer to Yemen.
The issue of accountability is one that's been important to the Netherlands, and yet in the negotiations, that clause, accountability for crimes under international humanitarian law, has been stripped out of the resolution. Are you disappointed?
I think that we have to count our blessings. I think after 3.5 years in the situation that we've seen in the humanitarian situation, the text in front of us addresses the most urgent elements. We see accountability, and you know how dear it is to our hearts. We see that as a very important element for sustainable peace in Yemen. And we really hope that we see this resolution as a first step in a process, and we really hope that accountability will be included in one of the next steps. But for the moment, this was what the text was the most attainable outcome, and we think that as a first step, this is a very good product.
Why would any country insist on removing this paragraph? Did they provide you with any excuses? What's their point of view about this paragraph to be removed?
I think this is a question of timing. I think it is a question of timing of now addressing the most urgent elements, and particularly the ceasefire. I think that at this moment in time it was very important that we would endorse the outcome of the meetings that took place in Sweden. So I think that you have to see it as like a broad negotiation where lots of elements are on the table, lots of things that countries push for or push back on. But as a first step, and seeing the urgency of the situation, the text that we have in front of us is a good one.
In the text, they have language which basically condemns the Houthis for launching missiles, but not their suppliers. Why that?
Well, for me, what counts is the text that we have on the table now, which, as I said earlier, is the outcome of a longer negotiation. And I think for us, the main element was that the 5 asks were well reflected, and they are. So thank you very much. Thank you.
About the NATO allies and the Western allies, that you had an unseemly row in the UK and the US?